All right, welcome back. We're on day 26, friends, of our Lenten journey, and we're staying in John's Gospel. We're now in John 2, 1 through 12. On the third day, a wedding took place in Cana in Galilee. Jesus' mother was there, and Jesus and his disciples had also been invited to the wedding. When the wine was gone, Jesus' mother said to him, "They have no more wine." "Woman, why do you involve me?" Jesus replied. "My hour has not yet come." His mother said to the servants, "Do whatever he tells you." Nearby stood 6 stone water jars, the kind used by the Jews for ceremonial washing, each holding from 20 to 30 gallons. Jesus said to the servants, "Fill the jars with water." So they filled them to the brim. Then he told them, "Now draw some out and take it to the master of the banquet." They did so. The master of the banquet tasted the water that had been turned into wine. He did not realize where it had come from, though the servants who had drawn the water knew. Then he called the bridegroom aside and said, "Everyone brings out the choice wine first, and then the cheaper wine after the guests have had too much to drink. But you have saved the best till now." What Jesus did here in Cana of Galilee was the first of the signs through which he revealed his glory, and his disciples believed in him. After this, he went down to Capernaum with his mother and brothers and his disciples. There they stayed a few days. Our Devo today is from Steve Menning. Turning water into wine is known as Jesus' first miracle. As a first impression, the miracle may seem to have little consequence. After all, no one was going to die of thirst if they did not have or could not drink wine at the wedding celebration. However, Jesus knew this was important to the people involved. Weddings in this day were week-long festivals with many guests, and running out of wine would have been and had a long-lasting effect of embarrassment and disgrace for the married couple and their family. Jesus showed this family love by helping in their time of need, even though he did not yet want to make himself known publicly. This is the same love and care that God has for us in our daily struggles. The passage is also symbolic in the transformation from the covenant of law to grace. The old wine represented life before Jesus and the relationship God's people had with him under the old covenant. Jesus is the new wine, much better than the old, given as God's gift of grace to the world. Even the stone water jars represent transformation. These large jars were used for ceremonial washing, not for holding wine or even drinking water, but turning the water to wine. These jars would no longer be fit for ceremonial use. Jesus displayed how caring for others is more important than ritual or tradition. During this time of Lent, let us also be willing to be transformed by God's grace through the love of Jesus Christ. One of the interesting things, this is the first miracle, and his mom asks him to do it. His mom asks him to do it. I know we often focus on what the miracle was, the symbolism of it, or our questioning of why would Jesus do such a thing, and knowing that people were drunk. I don't want to go there. When the wine was gone, Jesus' mother said to him, "They have no more wine." She just gives him the information. She goes on behalf of this family. Now, maybe Jesus is related to them. There's a good possibility that could be. Or simply you invited all your friends and neighbors. They were neighbors. Whatever reason why his mother, brothers, and disciples are invited to the celebration, they're there. They are celebrating with the family, the bride and the groom, and his mother knows the difficulty that is going to be faced by this family. Remember, as we went through a lot of other gospels, when we're gone through the birth narratives of Jesus, and Mary is pondering all these things in her heart, and she's doing those things, and she's keenly aware of what people said about her, about Joseph, about Jesus, legitimate, illegitimate, and all of those things, because she was found with child before the marriage had fully taken place. It's no wonder that she knows the potential shame and disgrace that this event is going to have and linger the rest of their lives. So when Jesus says, "Woman, why do you involve me?" I think that's why. To save someone else the shame and embarrassment, though different, but there's a shame-based culture. But to save them shame and embarrassment. When are you willing to take on shame and embarrassment of someone else and carry that so that they instead can save face with others and not have ridicule? I think Jesus does that his whole ministry. When he goes out to the sinners and tax collectors, he's taking their shame. He's dwelling with them. He's going to them. And we need to do likewise.